guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing amazing. I'm doing really well at the moment, so I hope you all feel the same as I do. So, recently I've been talking about on my channel how I've been trying to come up with some new videos for you guys because I'm out of the concert scene at the moment. I have a show in April, but no real concert, no concert vlogs coming. And I want to do daily vlogs, weekly vlogs, but I just don't do that much with my time, so it would be you guys just watching me sit in my bedroom filming or editing videos. So when I have more interesting things to do, more vlogs will be coming, but for now, content is what I am searching for. And my TikTok at the moment has been full of One Direction band's concert stuff. And I've been posting those on my shorts also, and people seem to be enjoying it. So I'm gonna keep with that theme and do more stuff like that. So I did a little One Direction video where I went through some old merch, and this video, I know if you guys have been with me for a while, I vlogged all the 5 Seconds of Summer concerts I went to last year. And I met them. I actually ended up meeting them 3 times last year, so I thought I would do a story time of meeting them. We'll just in this one start with the first time I met them, but if you guys are interested in the other 2 times, I would love to make a video on those. And are story times still a thing? Like, I feel like it's nice to just put a video on and not really pay attention. It's kind of like TV. So let me know if you guys want more story times, if you enjoy this one. But yeah, this is me, a story of how I met 5 Seconds of Summer for the first time. I have a notebook with notes so I don't forget anything because not like a lot happened, but I tried telling the story on my TikTok and I felt like I was going in circles talking. But starting the story off, me and my mom had bought tickets to see them in, where? Connecticut, Boston, both Bostons, Raleigh, Atlanta, Florida, and Phoenix. And so we were going to a lot of shows already, so I was already on the train of doing a lot of 5 Sauce stuff. And one night I was on my phone and I got an email, and it was just a random email, and I'm not going to say, I'm gonna gatekeep how I met them through where I met them, because if they ever do this again, like, I would love to do this again, or if other artists ever do something like this, I kind of want to keep it a secret, so sorry about that, but it was pretty much like an auction to meet them, okay? So I got an email and I opened it because I had never seen an email for experiences like this before from this company. So I opened it, and at the bottom it said 5 Seconds of Summer, and I was like, this is so weird. Why does it say 5 Seconds of Summer under this company that like they're not related at all? So I clicked on it, and I just want to preface that it was 2:50 in the morning because I was getting up to go to work at 5. My first alarm had just went off. So I saw the email and I was like, okay. I clicked on it, meeting 5 Seconds of Summer, meet and greet experience with 5 Seconds of Summer, and there were a bunch of cities listed. The first one was Boston, so I feel like Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Florida, Phoenix, LA. There were some other ones thrown in there, I think, but Boston was the first one. Boston night 1 was the first meet and greet that they had available. And so I was like, we have to do this, right? We have to try to win this. So basically how it worked was it was bidding on it, and there was a minimum you had to bid, and at the time no one had bid on anything except for Madison Square Garden and Philadelphia, I think, and nothing else. So there was 0 bids on Boston night 1, or there was 1 bid on Boston night 1 for what the minimum bid amount was. So I was like, okay. And it was bidding through points. I'm not, once again, not gonna share what the company was, but it was bidding through points, and I happened to have a lot of points with this company, and I was able to get even more because of a credit card that I had. So I had a lot of points for this company, and I was like, okay, I have a lot of points. How many times do we want to try to meet them? And I know that sounds kind of like a lot, and I was actually called selfish by a group of girls for going to a lot of concerts, so I'm sure if they heard this they would call me selfish, but literally no one had bid on this. So the ones that no one had bid on, I was like, fair game, I'm gonna try to go as many as I can. So like I said, ended up meeting them 3 times. But for Boston, basically we just waited. It was a waiting game. I was checking every single day to see if more people had bid, and there was only that one minimum bid available. So I was like, okay, we have a real possibility of winning this. So I'm rambling. Nonetheless, night comes, we're waiting. If someone bids within the last 5 minutes, 5 minutes gets added on to the sale. So we waited until a minute before, placed my bid. No one else bid, and we won. It was honestly pretty anticlimactic because no one else bid. I thought, ooh, we'd be in a bidding war. Nope, no one else bid. So we won. And we got an email that said more information will come. And we're like, okay. The other 2 that we wanted to bid on, there was 3 other we wanted to bid on. I think Atlanta was one that we were like debating bidding on. Florida was one we were debating on bidding on. Phoenix was one, and LA was one. So we had a bunch that we were debating on bidding on, but Boston night 1, the first one, we had won. So I was really excited about that. Moving on to actually meeting them. So I got the email with all the information when we were in Connecticut to see them at Mohegan Sun. And basically it said within 24 hours you will get information and tickets to the show. So basically you got 2 tickets and 2 meet and greets. And I already had tickets, so I wasn't really worried about the tickets, but I was worried about the information because the part where it said you'd get information, long story short, we didn't get any updates. It was basically it was 2 tickets, 2 sound checks, 2 meet and greets. So we got the info about sound check, but we got nothing about the actual meet and greet experience. It said, go find this person. And I'm like, I have no idea who this person is. Okay, I guess we'll just have to ask when we get there. So we go to Mohegan Sun, and my mom's like, oh, well, these are the people that the VIP Nation is going to be handling the meet and greet, so let's ask them. Mom asked a woman, and they were like, there's no meet and greets for this tour. And my mom's like, no, there is. And the woman's like, no, there's no meet and greets. And then the girl behind the one my mom's talking to was in charge, and she was like, come find me tomorrow. I'm in charge. Just come find me tomorrow, or 2 days in Boston. And Mom's like, okay. So we had a little bit more information. We knew who to come find. La-di-da-di-da. Went to Mohegan Sun. Best concert of my whole entire life. I didn't learn the set list. I didn't do any of that stuff. So best concert of my whole entire life, honestly. Top 5, top 3. It was so good. So we're on a high, and then the next concert we get to meet them. So we're on even more of a high because we get to meet them. So fast forward, we got our tickets for the show. Even though we didn't really know if we were going to use them, I had GA. My mom did end up using the seat because it was front row balcony right to the side of the stage. So my mom's like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with GA for this concert. I'm just going to go to the seat. So it's fine. We get to the line in Boston, and it was kind of a mess. They were handing out the numbers for sound check. We didn't have the lounge, so we were trying to figure out the line we were in. My mom ends up going to the front and is like, we have the meet and greet. And I think the same thing happens again where they're like, that's not a thing. And then my mom actually finds the woman, and we get all the stuff that we need. And basically we were just told, go find this man after sound check. So we wait in line, we wait through sound check. Sound check was amazing. And then everyone leaves and we're just waiting for everyone to be gone. And the guy who was in charge of VIP was like, so you guys are those people? And we're like, we are those people. We're here, we're ready. I was freaking out at this moment because I had kind of kept my cool through most of it, but like as we were meeting them, as we were about to meet them, I was freaking out. I have a whole story about meeting Niall Horan if you want to hear it, but yeah, I was freaking out about meeting them if I'm being completely honest, because I just can't talk to celebrities. When I was younger, like me and my sister did meet and greets with the Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato and Jordan Sparks, and I'm just not good at talking to people. Even smaller bands, I'm not good at talking to them. So I knew it was gonna be a little bit of a shit show, and I was really anxious about it. So he was basically waiting to get the okay to go take us to where we were doing the meet and greet. And it was literally, if you went to the Boston shows, there was the first balcony section, and in the corner they set up curtains, and that's where we did the meet and greet. So their tour manager and the VIP nation, the guy who was in charge of VIP, took us to this corner, and basically we went in this curtain, and it was a waiting game, waiting for them to walk in. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm getting excited thinking about it, but oh, they walked in and I knew, oh my god, I have nothing to say to these people. Like, what the hell am I gonna say to them? So they walk in, they're like, hey, blah, 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 blah. I think they all introduced themselves, which is really funny. They shook our hands, and I'm kind of just standing there, and I think I'm just like, oh my god, hi, so nice to meet you. I'm so excited to meet you. I probably was like, I love you guys. My mom was like, I think my mom was trying to cool the situation. She was like, hi, I'm Katie, this is Sarah. So nice to meet you guys. I don't really remember all of it, but I do remember turning to Michael and saying, we went to the show last night in Mohegan and I didn't spoil the set list for myself, and oh my god, it was so good. It was the perfect set list. It was such an amazing night. And Michael was like, oh, that's so cool. I'm glad that you did that. And I'm like, yeah, you tweeted about it. So I was like, I'm not gonna learn the set list. I'm not gonna spoil anything for myself. And they're like, oh, that's so cool. And honestly, after that, kind of a blur. I don't remember what we talked about, but we were trying to figure out a way to take a picture because the lighting was so bad. So the photographer came in and they were like, oh, we'll take it this way. And the boys were like, shouldn't we take it this way? And I'm just standing there like, oh my god, I'm in the same room with 5 Seconds of Summer. They're 2 feet in front of me and I'm talking to them. I'm not really paying attention. I'm like, I'll take a shitty picture. I don't really care. So they finally decide, oh, we'll go against this wall and take a picture. I stand next to Luke. I was like, I have to stand next to Luke. I've been wanting to meet them for so long, but Luke has always been my favorite. So I'm like, I have to stand next to Luke. Nothing else matters. I don't care who else I stand next to. I have to stand next to Luke. Take the picture, take a couple, maybe just one, I don't know. We weren't allowed to have our phones out, so they took it professionally. And they were 100% getting ready to leave, and Ashton stops and goes, so where are you guys from? And my mom, either me or my mom goes, oh, we're from Phoenix. And they're like, you're from Phoenix? And we're like, yeah, we are traveling to see you guys a bunch. Like, we'll see you in Phoenix, and we're going to the show tomorrow night, and we're also doing some southern states also. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. And I'm like, I'm so glad you think that's cool and not so lame that we're following you around the country to see you. So yes, we talked to him about where we're from, and then Luke turns to me and goes, what Dice song do you want to hear? And I look at him and I'm like, I really want to hear English Love Affair. And he was like, we've never performed that live before. And I was like, you know what? I've heard all the other songs before. You sang Wrapped Around Your Finger on not your last tour, but the tour before. And you've sound checked if you don't know. So like, I've heard all the songs before. You used to sing Heartache on the Big Screen and Voodoo Doll lives. Like, I've heard all the songs. I've never heard English Love Affair live. And they look at me and go, we sang If You Don't Know in Soundcheck? And I was like, yeah, you did. Not on the No Shame tour, but why am I blanking? On the Youngblood tour, I'm like, you sang it on the Meet You There tour for Soundcheck for a lot of them. I specifically remember because I was like, I have to learn Callum's part. Like, I have to know it. I can't be the one that doesn't know the lyrics. And Callum's like, finally learned the lyrics to that part. And I was like, good job. He's like, not other songs, but that song I know the lyrics to. And I'm like, I'm glad that we both know the lyrics to that song. And let me just check my notes really quickly. So that was pretty much it. They said bye and we're like, see you some other dates. And yeah. So we got escorted out of the curtained area, and the manager came up to us and said, we really want to get you guys some merch. Let's go down to the merch table. Do you guys want some merch? And I was like, no, we're gonna get it at a different show because, you know, there's a lot going on right now and we don't want to hold it the whole show. And he's like, okay, so we'll find you at another stop. And I'm like, I guess. And then I clicked in my brain, I'm like, they want to give us merch. They want to give us merch. So I didn't want to be greedy. They were like, do you know what shirt you want? And I was like, I do know what shirt I want. I want the white one with the pink letters that says the 5 Seconds of Summer show. And he goes, what size? And as he's asking us what size, they let in GA. And I'm like, oh, I really wanted to be barricade for this show. And then he looks at me and goes, do you want to go? We'll bring the shirts to you. And I'm like, oh my God, you're freaking amazing, sir. Yes, thank you. And I try not to run, but run. Ended up being one person behind barricade, totally fine. And then the head of VIP comes and is like, I have this size and this size, which one would be better? And my mom's like, oh, that size would be perfect. And all the girls around us are like, you're bringing merch? We can ask you to bring us merch. And he's like, no, just for these guys. And I'm like, I felt special, even though that's kind of bad. I felt special. And yeah, there was a lot of drama at that concert, honestly, with the people in front of us. A bunch of pushy girls. When you're barricade, you kind of have to deal with that. But I will never forget meeting them, honestly. I know their details are kind of fuzzy, but I will never forget meeting them. My mom ended up going up to the balcony to watch the show. It was a really good show. And yeah, like I didn't have the picture, so I didn't want to be like, oh my god, I just met them, because I bet the people around me would think I was insane. We got sent the picture that night, and so exciting. I'll put it here so you guys can see it. If you've seen the vlogs, you've seen the picture before, but in my opinion, it's a pretty good picture. So yeah, the concert was really good, and that whole concert trip was really crazy because we saw 5 Sauce at Mohegan Sun and then 5 Sauce Boston. Then the Jonas Brothers were also in Boston that same week. So we saw 5 Sauce, Jonas, 5 Sauce, Jonas, and then the Jonas Brothers were back at Mohegan Sun. So we saw the Jonas Brothers at Mohegan Sun, and that night is when Phoenix meet and greets went. The Phoenix meet and greet time was ending, the auction was ending. So right after the Jonas Brothers concert, we won the auction to meet them in Phoenix. So if you guys want a part 2, I will tell you guys about meeting them in Phoenix, because that is also a fun story. But yeah, that was my experience meeting 5 Seconds of Summer. It's been a long time coming. I've been a fan of them since 2012, 2013. So 10 years, 11 years before I met them, but it's finally happened. So if you've been a fan for that long and haven't met them, it will happen at some point. I kind of like disregarded the fact that I was ever going to meet them, because I'm not like I'm gonna talk to you when you're out somewhere and I'm not gonna look for you. So I thought I was never gonna meet them, but I did. So yeah, that's my story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want the next one where I met them in Phoenix, please let me know in the comments. I would love to film that. I had a really fun time talking about this. Yeah, but that's the end of my story. We also saw them, so we saw them the next night in Boston, and then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, we flew out Atlanta, Raleigh, Hollywood, Florida, and then met them in Phoenix. So lots of shows that we went to, lots of 5 Sauce. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little story time. Like I said, if you want to hear the next one, I know I've said this about 8 times, comment below. And also, if you just want more content from me, I have all my links linked below. Like I said, TikTok, go crazy talking about One Direction, go crazy talking about concerts, 5 Sauce, Luke, going on tour soon. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, subscribe to my channel. All my links are below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye.